Hello and welcome back to the next weekly Alteryx challenge with me, Nick Bignell. This is where I fumble my way through each challenge and well, I try and entertain you in the way I do it, but hopefully we can teach you as we go and, well, teach myself. That's the whole point of this, actually, is so I can improve my own skills, as you can see. A bit rusty, so let's get going and see where we're at. So we're in week 11 or challenge 11. This is where a manufacturing company receives customer complaints. These on a daily basis from their call centers about medical parts they distribute to customers. The company monitor these comments to understand which parts or groups have the highest complaint rate. In this exercise, to take the customer complaint data and identify which bucket the complaint falls into. The complaint can fall into multiple buckets and need to be flagged as these complaints take highest priority. Aggregate the view to which the bucket or bucket pairings have the highest number of complaints. So let's this is only a subset of the data, so all records will not be assigned to buckets and can be ignored. So let's have a look at the data, input data, and we have text for each one. So we just make this a bit wider. Basically seeing it was reported that during the procedure immediately following legislation the vascular peduncles of the patient's bladder. Right, so then we're looking for words in there. Here are the words and here are the buckets. So beep, screen, trigger fall into tone, screen, trigger. And then the result is the bucket. So we've got screen for 1, tones and screen are 1, and screens are 7, and tones and screens are 1, and trigger is 1. Okay, let's just run this data, see if we can get anything. Okay, let's have a look. One's a string and the other's a count. Byte tape. Okay, so let's see if we can do it. So I'm thinking we want to pull out on each of these, there's only 10 rows, so each of these rows, whether they contain these search words, and the way you could do that by a, can you do that by a join or fuzzy matching? So non-identical duplicates in a data stream or two streams based on common field will contain the data from both inputs. So I think we're looking at a direct match there. Let's just bring it in and have a look. I'm pretty sure that's not going to be it. We're not going to. So we did that and that. We can't do a contain. It has to directly match. So let's just get rid of that. So I'm wondering if we just simply do a formula to start with to pull out those words. So if we do a formula on here and we say we want to call it I don't know, search. Search, and so if we say if we can just if let's just do as it contains, and the string is field 6, and the target, which is what we want to look for, is beep. I remember right, just switch back for a second. So beep, screen, trigger. So beep, then we might as well keep it as beep. else I don't know, no, n. Okay, so that will give us, we'll keep that as a small string, we don't need to waste size. Okay, so let's run that and see what we get. So we get 1 with beep. This is row number 5. Oh, I know what we need to do first. We can run that through for each, and then that will give us multiple. But we do want a we do actually want a record ID so we can bring them back together. What I'm thinking here is that we'll run this in parallel, these against each one, and then union it back together, and then concatenate it. That's where my mind's going with this. So if we run that, we should get a record ID. So we now got a record ID, and record 5 has the beep. Okay, so if we copy that and then just paste it below, so we don't want to add it further on. We want to do it below, and then we'll change beep to what was the next one? Screen. We can pick that up from there, and then put it in here. Screen. We run that, we should get 8, 7 or 8. Yeah, 8. So 5 is appearing twice, so that's the one where it appears in twice, and the rest have got it once. So then we can just copy, paste, and this time we want trigger. So we can go in here and we can pick up our trigger and then paste it here and here. Okay, so that will give us the one trigger. Okay, so then if we union that all back together, bring them all back, bring them back, so they're all in one stream, run. Now we should have a repeat of all of them. Yep, and then we can just want to clean it up. We just want to filter out the ends. So if we filter out on the search record does not equal n. Was it small? Yeah, big. It's all big, is it? Just have a look. Mix them up. No, they're all large. But I think it doesn't matter. We should be then with just those. Yep. So we've just got those records. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 twice, 6, 7, 8, and they're different things. So all we then have to do is summarize them. So we can summarize them. We could group them by record number, group by record number, and then search. Oh no, I've missed a step. I've got to put it into the buckets. Oh, I've got to put it into buckets. Oh, great. Okay, so we need to do a lookup first, or we can do it here. We do need to do a join for that. So let's just put that there, and then we need to bring in that, and we want to, it's on this search field that we want to bring in. We then bring in the bucket. Okay, so let's do that. Okay, and therefore we've got our various records here still grouped by, but on here we have the bucket. Now in the results we just want buckets and count. Okay, so in the summarize, well, we'll keep we want to group it by record ID. We want to then take the bucket, we take the bucket and concatenate string, right? Use a comma, I think it was a comma in here, comma, the break to distinguish between tones and screen. And then we also want to count, it doesn't really matter what, it's just basically count rows. So if we just do a normal count of record, that should give us that. Okay, so that's given us it broken down by that. Oh, we've just got that, and then we can group again by these different types and count these. Oh, we didn't need. No, we don't need to count these. That count is wrong. Count's too early. So let's just take that one out. Let's concatenate again now that we've done the, or we just need to summarize again. So we can group by the, group by the string. So if we group by it, and then we just want to, it doesn't really matter which row we do, we just want to count them. Okay, so if we run that, see we've now got screen 7, tone screens 1, trigger 1, which is what we've got here. They just need to be called buckets, open bracket, close bracket, and count. So let's just bring in a select, and we can rename this to be buckets, open bracket S, close bracket, and count is count already. So we should be good with that. Let's just do that, run that. Yep, so buckets count, screen 7, tones, comma, screens 1, trigger 1. Exactly the same. There you go. Thank you very much, and now we'll have a quick look at how someone else has done it in their solution. Okay, so I've opened the solution. So they've done it in a, well, let's have a look, see how they've done it. It looks very different, although there's still the summarizing to group and group, and then they're using this find replace here. So if we just, let's go through this each one. Let's run it for starters, actually, might be good. So we got, so they basically remove unwanted fields. We've just removed the unknown field. Why would you do that? I don't know. Then you've got here is to create a record ID, so that's, we did that. Then they're doing some reged, so they're regex, regular expression, which is they're pulling out the space and they're replacing. Then they're splitting, so they're splitting each word out separately. Okay, so they're basically splitting out each word out separately. On the input you end up with a, okay, that's interesting. They're splitting into rows, then bringing in it and a match. So if we go through here, look, we found a match here, screen. But yeah, there's a lot to go through there. Then we have I suppose they could change this. This could change, while in my method, then we're stuck with those categories. We'd have to manually change the formulas. So then, yeah, with uniquing on the record and the bucket, so just to gets rid of anything else, and then they're doing those aggregations, those grouping by and counting, as we did, concatenation and then counting, and then sorting. I guess they want to get it in order. They've got some nulls here. I guess they're nulls. They're removing the null, to the left with the, so slightly different way of doing it. I guess the key here is that they're hooking this bit in to actually do whether the word is in there or not from this, rather than me typing it in. There you go. Well, thank you much for watching, and hopefully I'll see you next time. Bye.